back to the next installment in this mythographic page. I did a little bit more coloring and I wanted to show you guys some of the detail work that I did. So in the last video I had finished coloring in the water and I've done a few of the white lines. I also wanted to show you that I used this Prismacolor blender marker. It's a colorless blender. I'm guessing that it would work with like any alcohol colorless blender because it does smell like it's just an alcohol marker, but it works really well to blend, especially Prismacolors. So you can see that I've already stained the tip of it. But for example, in these areas here where you can see some of the white coming through, it works really well. I'm going to turn the page here. It works really well to just blend those colors right in. Now it does sometimes take off that gel pen, so you have to be really careful if you've already done sections. But I don't know if you can tell the difference there. I'm going to hold that up a little closer to the camera. So here, this part I've done and this part I haven't. So I'm hoping that you can kind of tell the difference there. But I found that this really helps. And it's a quick, easy way. It's a lot easier than getting out like the Gamsol or the Zest-It and going through all that stuff. It's kind of already just in convenient marker form. So, yeah. So I'm going to finish this part up. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit while I finish this and put on the white gel pen, and then I will be back to talk to you guys in a minute. Talk about is the shading on the boat here. I based that with a water-based marker, and then I have used a couple different Prismacolors to shade that in a little bit. I used chocolate, so 1082. I don't know, let's try that, and then the dark umber, I think, which is 947. So I'm going to turn the book again just a little bit, and I just basically went through and messily traced some of the lines that the artist has already put in here, and then where there's a line for a board, I made sure to do a nice heavy pressure line, and then I'm going to go through where the lines of the boards are with a little bit of a darker color to get that nice and dark, so you can tell that there's a board. And I did that same technique in all of those areas. I'm going to come down here, I'm going to do that same thing here, but I'm going to have to create some of my own lines on this little box, but not too many because it's such a small area. But I'm going to do that, and I'll speed that up so you guys can see how I do that. next I'm going to show you how I did some of these rocks. So I've got these rocks. This one I had based in marker, but I didn't like how it looked, so I just kind of went over it with some of the Prismacolors that I've got. And then I've done these rocks here. I made this a rock. I wasn't sure what was down in here. And then I've got these rocks here left to shade. So I've just, so far I've gone through with the 30% French gray. And then I'm going to add in some shadows with the 50% warm gray. And then go back in with my 30% French gray again. So I will go ahead and do that. Okay, next I want to show you how I've done a little bit of shading on the coral, and it's the same technique that I used on these darker pieces of coral too. I've got another little baby pencil here. This is pink, so it's PC929. And so I'm going to use this color on all of these lighter pink pieces of coral. And I'm basically just going through, and wherever there is an overlap of something or some lines drawn in there by the artist, I'm just adding a little bit of like a scribble shading. It's nothing precise. I'm just kind of going in best I can. I do have to sharpen this, sorry for a second. And I'm using the comb sharpener because this baby pencil does not fit in my nice fancy Helix sharpener. I do like the comb because you can get a really nice point on your pencils. See how sharp that is now. So yeah, just anywhere where you see a little bit of, see, I'm not even sure what that area is, but I'm going to color it pink because there's not really defined things, so it's all going to be pink back there. That's the only issue that I have sometimes with these books is I can't tell what's what, so a lot of the times I just pick, and that's what color it ends up being. Like, this is just a mess. I know there's shadows and stuff that they've put in this, but it's so hard to tell what everything is. I'm going to color back behind here all pink too. I know that there's that seaweed is right there, which I'll go through and add some more shading to that here in a second. I'm going to get some more of this coral over here. So yeah, see, just anywhere where there's a little bit of overlap, or I think I'm going to color, leave that one alone. That space. And just leave a little bit of the lighter pink marker. I'm just leaving a little bit of that like at the edges. So if I do have to add a little bit of shadow to these smaller pieces, I just color kind of the center of it and let the rest of it just do its thing. I'm still not sure how I'm going to color these turtles yet. They are, I do want to have them look semi-realistic, so I'm trying to find a good picture of sea turtles. Most of the ones that I found are all browns, but I think that there is a green sea turtle that I could copy. So if not realistic, then he'll just be bright and fun. I think that is all of that coral there. Yeah, so, and then I colored on this little shell here. I used some of the beige sienna, and no, it wasn't that one. It was just beige. So I've done the other shells that are in here, and so this is how I did those, and I just basically flicked some of this beige sienna out, And then I came in with the beige and just randomly blended that out, added a little bit of color to the sides. And then I think I'll probably go in with a little bit of white on these because seashells tend to have a nice variety of colors. And I don't know, this one doesn't want to work quite the same as it did on the waves. Let me try my Posca and see if I can get the nice flicks. There we go. See if that works better. Let's do this one over here. So I'm gonna just flick lines, a few lines here and there. Sometimes it looks a little wonky when you do it, but then the end result is pretty cool. Okay, let's see what else I've got. So I've got the turtles and I've got the treasure. I could do this wheel. Let's do the wheel. So I'm gonna go through, I've got my color chart here. I want it to stand a little bit out apart from the boat. So maybe we could give it some warmer browns, so maybe some bronze and that sandbar brown, and let's see if that will work. So I've got the bronze and the sandbar brown. So bronze is 1028 and the sandbar brown is 1094. So I'm going to go in with the lighter color first and just put a nice light layer over everything. I think I'll need a good highlight in the center here. This might have almost a gold kind of finish to it even. Leave a little bit of highlight on the sides there. And then I'll come in with the brown, the sandbar brown, and add a little bit of darker areas. I might even need another color. I probably will need another color. I always think that I can get it done in 2, but I usually have to use three colors. So the other one that was in that color family, that would be a good third color, like a nice dark color, would be the dark brown. I think that one is, that's this one. I've got a little baby pencil, but it should work. So just go in a little bit at the edges, add it in on the darker spots. Yeah, the dark brown added a little bit, and then I can go back in with the sandbar brown again, add a little bit more color. And then back in with the bronze and just blend it out and leave a tiny little highlight on the wheel. I'm going to add a little bit of the aqua color back in there because I forgot this little guy, this little piece, and then I'll draw around it with the white Arteza pen. So it's like a spray of water, and I'll do a couple little drops. Let's see. I do want to add some more drops to the background. Oh, I did color in the starfish a little bit too. I had done a marker base, and then I just took, I think it was just a light brown, and went around the edges and then used the white. I think it was my Posca. I used the white Posca on the little dots on the centers of the starfish. Maybe we could do some more in this treasure chest. So I want to color the coins. I want it to have a yellowish tint, so I'm going to color everything that might look like a coin with this goldenrod color. So this is 1034. This kind of all looks like it just might be a pile of gold. And then there are some there's some gems that I might just color, just solid colors. And then I think I'm going to take the same bronze that I used, and I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow to the edges of a couple of these coins. I don't know if that's I think that's a bubble. I don't think that's a coin. There's a couple more. Coin, coin. And then I'm gonna go back in with the goldenrod just to kind of separate those out a little bit. Maybe add in some of the bronze under the things that are just lying in the, where there might be shadows. I can use that bronze to just add a little bit of a darker tone. It's not a lot, but it adds a little bit to the overall effect. This doesn't have to be the most perfect thing you've ever colored because it's not the main focus. So again, I'm going to use the same color combo, I think. Maybe let me throw in a little bit of the cream, the PC914 cream. So on this one, I'm just going to come down from the edges with the bronze. Highlight these pieces, corner pieces, and the lock. Add in a little bit of the goldenrod. And since this is a metal, you do want to have highlights, but it's also going to be not super shiny because it's been in the ocean for so long. So you don't have to worry too much about that. I do want to add in a darker brown. I think I'm going to use, this is espresso, so this is $10.99. Just for where the shadows are on these and like the outside edges, and it just kind of adds a little bit of depth to the color. And go back in with a little bit of the goldenrod. Oh, I didn't add very much down here, did I? Add a little bit more of that in. Yeah, I think that'll work for there. I'm gonna just use this espresso to color in the keyhole. And actually, I'm gonna use this espresso as well. I'm gonna see if I can get it a little sharper. And try to just do a little bit of shadow around these bolts or screws or whatever it is that is holding that piece of metal on. Okay, let's just pick a couple of bright colors. Let's do a parrot green. That's going to be one of the gems sticking out of here. And let's do this process red, 994. Those are just fun ones that are going to stick out. And then I think I'm going to do just a little bit on those gems. I think for the crown, I'm going to color it a lighter color. So I'm going to start with a sand and just kind of go over that whole thing like that. And then come in with, let's just go in with the espresso and see how that. And go in with the cream and see if that kind of blends everything together. That works. And I'm gonna draw behind the crown a little bit just to... Now I probably could have done something cool with like gel pens or something, which I still might do. I might go get some gel pens for the necklace, and maybe maybe I'll add it back to the crown. These little jars in here, let's do those. How about, let's do those just with like terracotta. Yeah, so there's terracotta 944. I'm just gonna go along the edges of each one just to add a little color, and maybe come in with the cream and blend it together a little bit. Yeah, same thing with this one, but I'm gonna go up and down and leave the highlight in the middle there. This is like a old-fashioned-y jug or something. Let's add a little bit of darkness in there again. Like I said, these things don't have to be the most beautiful things you've ever colored, because they are not the focus. Yeah, I do think I'm going to come in with a little bit of gel pen. I don't think I have my gel pens with me currently, so I might show you that in the next one. I think I'm going to take my time and figure out how to color these guys, and then I'm going to also color in around everything, probably with this this light aqua. I'm going to color the background everywhere. So I'll do that one off camera, and then I will show you the turtles and the skull and these bubbles, and we'll be done. Oh, and the seagulls that are up here, and then we'll be done. So yeah, so I'll go do the background, and then I will be back with you guys. Okay, I'm back, and I've got all the pencils ready to go for coloring in the last few things. I'm gonna do this little turtle in live for you guys, and so you can kind of see what my game plan was. I've got a couple of pencils here. I've got Pale Sage, which is 1089. I have Chartreuse 989. I have Green Ochre 1091, Prussian Green 109, and Warm Gray 70% 1056. I did look up a reference picture of a green sea turtle, so this is from my memory what it kind of looked like. So I'm going to attempt to do my best. So I'm going to take the Pale Sage and just do a little bit on the front of the turtle's face. Just a little in there, and then I'm going to come in with this Prussian green. And I'm not going to press too hard with this. Just blend it into the Pale Sage a little bit. Again, I'm going to use this Prussian green on all of the turtle's flippers. And there. Okay, and I'm going to take the Pale Sage again and blend a little bit into that. I'm going to use a little bit of this green ochre just around the turtle's face here and his neck, just to add a little bit of a different shade. I don't want him to be too brown because, like I said before, I wanted this bottom part to be bright and vibrant and fun. So he's going to be mostly, oh, sorry about that, guys. I hit my charger cord that's plugged into my camera. Yeah, there we go. We're going to add in some more of this Prussian green right over top of that green ochre. And then one more time back in with the pale sage to blend that all together. All right, and then on the shell, oh, and then I'm going to take the 70% warm gray, and I am going to, oops, I probably should use, I have a big brush for that, for when that happens. I'm going to color in all these little dots with this warm gray. It helps if you have a super sharp pencil. I sharpened mine right before in my handy dandy Helix sharpener. There we go. And now I'm going to do the shell, and I saw the really cool design. So it's going to be on a miniaturized version on a scale. Maybe when I do, if I ever do a different turtle picture, I can do this pattern on a bigger scale. But so this one, it had like this really cool starburst kind of pattern on the shells. So I'm going to take this Prussian green and I'm going to flick up from the left or the right hand side of the shell, all in the same direction. And then the same thing here, I'm going to flick, I think it was all the same direction actually. So I'll flick that way, and then, you know what, hang on, let me check for just a second. Okay, so this all flicks out from the center point here. So we're going to flick out towards this way. I'm really sorry if this is shaky since I have you closer to the page today. It's very touchy. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with the chartreuse and just do oh shoot, broke off my tip. Well, hold please while I resharpen that. Okay, here we go. Let's try this one. And then I'm just flicking that color outwards, the same direction that I did the Prussian green. Okay, I'm gonna add in just a couple of strokes of this green ochre. Gosh, I keep hitting that cord, I'm so sorry. And then a little bit of the black just in the very, or the warm gray, just in the very corners. I'll try to remember to post a picture of the shell pattern too that I found, because I did not know that sea turtles' shells could look like that. It was really beautiful. Okay, and then I'm gonna blend it all with that pale sage color, and I'm not pressing hard at all, and you can just kind of see that those colors all mesh together really well. Leaves that beautiful pattern in there. Trying to follow the directions of the pencil strokes that I made earlier. Let me make sure that I get all color and down into everywhere. Okay. All right, there's that. And then I'm going to, around the outside, it's going to be a darker, kind of a darker shell. So I'm going to go through with my Prussian green first. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of the brown, or I'm sorry, the green ochre, just along the edges of the little turtle shell, or the, I don't know, sections of the shell, I guess. And there's not really sections drawn in here, so I'm just gonna make a few lines on my own. And then I think I'm just gonna go right along the inside edge of the shell here, kind of leaving that outside a little bit. Circle all around this main part of the shell with the warm gray. Do a little bit up over here, and then go back around again with the Prussian green. Press a little bit harder with that. Not super hard, but just a little. And I think that's my turtle. I've got a couple little spots over here that I need to fill in. Yeah, so I'm going to repeat that same process over here on this turtle. That turned out pretty cute. Okay, I also got this Kaiser Color glitter gel pen that I'm going to add onto this crown in here. And it's not adding a whole lot of color, but it's adding a little bit of sparkle. And then I'm also going to do that on this necklace. Kind of makes that all gold, and there you go. That's just a tiny little bit of sparkle in there. Next I was going to color, I think we were going to do the skull, so I do have some colors pulled for that. Let me grab those. Make sure that you guys are able to see what I'm doing here. So for the skull, I have cream, which is PC914. I have the 70% French gray, which is 1074. I have the putty beige, which is 1083. And I have the white, 938. So I'm gonna go first with my putty beige, and I'm just gonna color in the areas that would be kind of in shadow a little bit. And all under this fish would have a little bit of shadow. Behind this fish, actually, along there. Under the tooth line, the teeth here. And actually just a few lines leading up from the teeth. There's a couple of ridges in here that would probably be in shadow along the eye sockets. And then under the jawline here a little bit, and then inside is going to be very shadowed, but I'm going to add a little bit more color to the shadow with this 70% French gray. Especially inside there where it would be dark. Along here, under this fish a little bit more. I'm gonna just, there's a few little like lines here that come up off the teeth, and sometimes if you drag your pencil up a little bit from those lines, it kind of makes it look a little spooky. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit of cream because, again, this skull has been underwater for a while. It's not going to be super white and pretty. It's going to be a little dingy, a little dirty. And then I'll come in with the white and try to blend things out a little bit. All these lines around the teeth. I hope you can see that that's actually creating a little bit of a shadow in there. Okay, I want a little bit darker, so I'm going to use that 70% warm gray that I was using previously on the turtle and add a little bit of darker colors in here. A little bit more right there. Okay. All right, I think that guy is done. I've got the seagulls, and again I'm going to use just the grays and stuff that I have out. So I've got the I'm going to start with the putty beige. It's not exactly a gray, but it'll work for these purposes. I'm going to go in where the most shadow is from the lines that the artist has already put on the page. Underneath, and there's like a line right there and a couple of lines there. The same on the tail here, coming up onto the body, along the body here, and then I'm just gonna follow these lines all the way across. Yep, I do want to add in a little bit of a yellowish kind of beak. I think seagulls have yellow beaks. Just a touch of yellow, and this is with, oh shoot, I don't know what color that is. It's PC942, which is yellow ochre. That's the only problem with having these baby pencils, is you sometimes lose the names of the colors. Okay. Next would be my 70% French gray, and I'm just going to do a little, very lightly in here. Follow those same lines I made with the putty beige. And one more with this 70% warm gray, right along the edge of that one. And then again, really lightly with the putty beige. Just add a little bit more color to the birds before going over everything in white. Actually, I might not even need to go. I'm going to add a little bit of cream to his belly. I don't know why he's a he, but that's what I decided. Okay, and then in with the white. Kind of blend things out and around. Again, up here on this guy too. All right, there's our seagulls done. Let me set some pencils out of the way for a second, and then I think I'll do the little last two things that really I need to show. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys about this marker, this awesome marker that I found. So I had gone through and done the background, and then I looked up on my crafting desk, and I saw this Nuvo glitter marker, and this is in Athenian blue, and I got this, I think I won this from a prize or something. I don't remember why I have it, but I just saw it on my desk and was like, oh, I'm going to use that. So I have added that in on the water, and I don't know if it's going to pick up the sparkle at all, but like on certain parts on the top of the water, I put it in. Gosh, I hope you can see that. I put it on there. And it was really cool, and I did want to add it a little bit more in here, so I wanted to do that on camera for you guys. Now the tip of it's pretty big. I don't know if it states, no, it doesn't state how thick it is, but there's a ton of glitter in here, and I'll show you what it looks like just on regular paper. So let me come up here and I'll scribble some on here, and you can see how shimmery it is, and it's a beautiful color. This one is. I'm not sure how many colors they come in, but if I can find these on Instagram, I will link them. Otherwise, I'm guessing that I probably got this on scrapbook.com, because I do scrapbooking sometimes as well, and I have a lot of supplies from that store. So I'm just kind of touching a few places where I want a little bit of extra sparkle, and it just, since it's so close to the color I was using already, it just adds a little bit of dimension, and without really changing the color too much. Oops, right up the edge. And it does dry almost instantly, so I will have to wipe that little part out that I went over the edge. But I really hope that you can see how sparkly that is. Okay. So back up to this side, let's do this little compass, and I do want to color that with some gold tones, probably similar to what I did here. So I think I used goldenrod and the bronze. So let's do that with this one up here. So I'm going to start with the goldenrod and just add a little bit of color. I did get a little bit of glitter on my hand here. So it's not quite dry, but it was pretty darn close. So this is the bronze and where the shadows would be. And I will blend that out a little bit with the cream. Do the same kind of thing up here. A little bit of goldenrod. A little bit of bronze. I think for the center of the compass, I'm going to do the bronze around the outside edge, and then just kind of lighten up the pressure as I move inwards, and then blend it in a little bit with the cream. I think it would be nice to have a little bit of a darker brown in there, just along the edge. So I just grabbed 947, which I think is dark brown, just right along the edge of that inside of the compass. And then for the center part, I'll do this goldenrod and some more bronze. A little bit more goldenrod in there. Yeah, so that is the compass. So last, I think I'll just show you kind of what I envisioned for these bubbles, which is really simple. I'm going to take this light aqua color again. This is 992. And for most of the bigger ones, I'm going to just go through and do a slight line, just a little C shape on the left-hand side. And then I will go through with some white and just color those in. And then I'm going to take my Arteza gel pen and just trace right around those bubbles. Just like that. So yeah, I will go ahead and do that really quick, and I will be right back with you, and then we'll see the finished page together. Okay, here it is. This is the finished product. I like how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with it. This is a book that I had not colored in yet, and I'm pleased with how it turned out. So we've got the other little turtle done. I'll show him a little closer. There's our other turtle, our seagulls we did today. Here's all the bubbles, our skull, and yeah, really pleased with how that turned out. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope that I helped. You know, if you want to color this page, I hope that seeing what color choices I made and what pencils I used, I hope that helped you out a lot. So yeah, thank you so much for watching today. I truly appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.